Since we didn't get to it yesterday, we're about due for another Lurkit special. So I figured today's as good a day as any to get that out of the way, you know? So, right now we are going to be opening up with Voyagers of Nera. Now you may notice that we're already in-game. That's because I wanted to avoid a little bit of CPU usage spiking I saw happening when this was loading in, just in case that ends up causing any interruptions for stream. Short version of what we're doing here is we are an Echo... Reawakened is more accurate than sent in order to preserve the spirits of this world, which, you know, kind of important. That's the very short version, because I do not remember the entire introduction at this point, because this wasn't meant to be the game I was going to play first today. So, a little bit of scuff there. I apologize for y'all not getting the full picture of the plot on that one. But look at it this way. That's something you can experience for yourselves if you pick up the game. And from the link that I will pop up here right quick, and it will be popped up again when we get to the end of this segment. Now, it does have a very robust options menu. If you go into advanced settings, you actually have like a full set of controls. You'll notice it's all low, again, as usual. I'm keeping things on the relatively low side to make sure that we don't have any technical difficulties. Since, you know, things can get a little weird now and then. The game is, I believe, still in early access. I want to say I saw that when I looked. Howdy, Pop, how's it going? Okay, you got resolution scale as well as a standard thing, VSync, max frame caps. You actually have a well-functioning windowed full screen, which is nice. Good volume options that actually listen when you tell them to adjust. So, all that. Not a lot in accessibility. Could definitely do better in that vein, but, you know, at least the menu exists. Maybe when the full version is done, they will put more into that. But this is a fairly standard survival crafting game from the bit I've touched upon so far. Got your build mode with your various recipes in it. You'll be learning more of those recipes through this knowledge tree here. You're spending these points, so, you know, if you're familiar with this genre, you've seen this menu a fair amount. I went ahead and unlocked all of this because this is what I had available. You will pick up some of your recipes via spirits out in the world, as you get spirit anchor through the tutorial. But there's a solid amount to learn, and that's just early access content, so there's going to be more in this research tree in the future. Now, I've done basically nothing other than the tutorial and walking out here, just as a note to anyone, because I wanted y'all to experience as much of the game as possible, but I also didn't want y'all to be bogged down with the tutorial and everything, since these can take a bit of time to get going. It seemed better to just get the tutorial out of the way. Now, it looks like in the general vicinity, we've got 7 more spirits, 8 monoliths, 6 markings. I did look at one marking that got me 1 extra knowledge point. That was back in the hallway I just walked out from. 3 ruins and 3 elder spirit shards. Alright. I have built absolutely nothing yet. I didn't really feel like setting anything up right here where I popped out. It didn't really seem like a good place for it. What's this? Voice fills your mind. Look upon our fallen form, Echo. Long ago, this arm once shaped mountains. This visage once gazed across our sanctuary. Now we are ancient, stone, silent, and still. Yet when the deep came for us, we did not fade, we forged you. Across this realm you may find more of our kind, titans reduced to monuments, our bodies marking where we fell but refused to surrender. Though our forms are broken, our will endures within you. You are our song, our story, our echo. Carry with you the warmth of our embrace. So there you go. You're an echo of the ancients, as mentioned. And there's that big stone arm that message was talking about. There's a head, it looks like, over there, potentially. Something interesting up there. A lot of the loose stuff you see you can pick up, as per usual. This is a little too big. We can't just pick that up. And scoop all this up, and I'm probably gonna need it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just trim that out. Grab some coconuts as well. There is a temperature meter, as you can see in the bottom left there. There is encumbrance and everything, as per usual. So that's gonna be worth keeping an eye out. We have a knowledge point, but I haven't gained a level yet, so I can't use that knowledge point. Accomplish anything. I do need more stone, because I didn't find that much of that laying around where we were before. And of course it wants us to do all the basic tool making and everything that these games usually ask for. It's not that far from where we spawned, but I think like right by this arch here might be a neat place to live for our beginnings. Got most of what we need nearby, lots of trees. Should do just fine. Not like I'm gonna be building anything too fancy right now anyway. Okay, I can hold the button. So I assume I need to make a bunch of twine to be able to make everything else. So let's just go ahead and make like 20 twine, so I don't need to think about that again anytime soon. Oh no, I do need more wood. I thought I had more wood than that. And I need resin to make clothes. Okay. Gotta fish some more random bits of wood out from under the trees then. Gotta get your drop wood in order to be able to make anything. There we go. Now we got 4 pieces. That should be sufficient for our power needs to get axe, and then we can use the axe to get more wood. Okay, it did put it on my bar. I just can't see my bar because I'm in build mode. Okay, you can hold the button, just keep chopping. That's good. And of course, chopping trees is getting us resin. That makes sense. Knock a few trees down, get what we need to make the other tool, and then see what the game yells at me to do. You do have a compass at the top, which is nice, and this map does seem like it'll be pretty competent. And it marks what things are if you zoom in a little bit. So, nothing to worry about too much there. The durability on this axe is plummeting rather rapidly, so that's going to be worth keeping in mind. And it does seem like actions in general give you experience, because we gained a level just by hitting that, not even finishing cutting that down. And looked like I gained 6 points from that level, which is going to be enough to get everything here. Okay, there's a repair station, so I don't need to worry about making new things constantly. Standing torch and wall torch, I don't think I have any reason to worry about that. So I might skip that to save points for future things. The rest of this seems like it'll be useful, so we'll snag that. I should probably make some clothes so I don't freeze, because it is getting colder because it's turning nighttime. Okay, it auto-equipped the pants. I need to get more resin, though, to get a shirt. Back to knocking trees down. I do appreciate that it's telling me what the effect is doing over there. Like, we have a bit less stamina regeneration, which that circle you see emptying and refilling is your stamina, as per usual. So, you know, pretty par for the course there. Do let me know if the sound effects are too loud. I did lower them initially, but I've been just kind of fiddling it back and forth. I don't know if I've managed to successfully fiddle it into a good position yet. Probably gonna want some of these bandages. A torch wouldn't be bad to have, but I don't think it's top priority because we haven't really been in anywhere that's that dark yet. Okay, let's fix this hotbar now that we actually have 2 tools. Otherwise, this is going to make my brain very upset. I do appreciate that this isn't one of those games that duplicates the things that are on your hotbar compared to in your inventory. So these are actually like separate inventory slots you can use. Also, I didn't anticipate these clothes doing a lot for the temperature, but I kind of figured to get out of slight chilly at least by putting on what we could. Hindsight being 2020, it makes sense. Okay, need more twine and more rocks. I made 20 twine and we already burned through all of that. Just keep that in mind. Then again, we used up a lot making the clothes, so it does make a degree of sense. Get some more rocks. Interesting. So it seems that if you mash click, it drains more of your stamina than if you hold it. But it doesn't seem like it does anything better for you. So I think it might be taking additional inputs and draining the stamina without actually paying you back for that. We also need to cut down 2 more trees because I need to do that for the quest. So we'll knock these 2 trees behind me down while we're over here. But it does seem like holding the button is just going to be straight up more efficient, stamina-wise. And we'll see what else the game wants me to do. I already had coconuts. Why is there another coconut on my hotbar? Did it fill the stack already? Cook meals at a campfire, build a bedroll. Yeah, that makes sense. It's getting you to do all the basic things to survive. Okay, the stacking might be slightly stupid. Noted. These give you more max stamina. Max stamina. Max health and max stamina. Max stamina, max oxygen from the seaweed. Which oxygen is a thing. You have quite a lot of it though, so you don't have to worry too much about that when you're swimming. You have to swim out of the tutorial area, is why I know that for a fact. Let's get that repair station up before I break this axe. We'll go ahead and get that campfire. That bedroll. I do like how fast this fills up when you just hold the button down. That is convenient. Oh, nice. It's not like a use resources to repair system. It's just, hey, go repair the thing. Crunch go the crab. There is rolling and everything you can do to avoid attacks. Seems like the combat's gonna be decent in this so far. We'll see how it actually works out when we have a real fight. Because they gave you a bit of a tutorial fight to do, but it wasn't that big a deal. It was just punch them a couple times, roll away, punch them a couple times, roll away, and eventually you just win. Nothing too big there. We'll go ahead and queue up cooking like all of this. The crafting times don't seem to be too bad. And it looks like, yeah, you do have to click the item down there to receive it once it's done cooking. Which, that's fine. That's good for queuing it up to feed other people. Because this is multiplayer, if you so choose to have it be so. Right now, we're in single player because I didn't want to drag other people in until I knew what I was getting into. And I'm not not really a believer in asking other people to pay for something until I know what we're getting. Wants me to make bandages, so I'll go ahead and just make 2 more bandages. Technically, I could use the club as a weapon, but I think the spear is going to be our better choice. It can be used on underwater and on land. So they may ask me to make a weapon in the future here. I'm going to be sad because of doubling the resource usage, but it's fine. You do lose items on death from what I saw of the settings. So it might actually be important to have spares of things anyway. I don't know how important it'll be early on, but at some point it'll matter. Since our bed doesn't work without a roof, I'm gonna need to figure out how to build a building. We also need this spirit anchor. Oh god, it's big. I don't know what I was anticipating, but it wasn't this. Put that, like... I don't have 30 stone. I'm gonna need to get more stone before I can build that. Ah, here's the actual structure building. Okay. It's separated out into a lot of tabs. Which, that's good and bad, depending on how you look at it. Oh, you actually can, like, set height and everything, too. Okay, that's convenient once you understand it. And it doesn't ask about the height again if you're building it attached to something else. Good, good. We'll go ahead and just make this size for now. It's gonna take a lot of resources to get this done proper, but it'll be okay. Oh, and the walls take resin? Yuck. And I need to actually make the floor fully before it lets me start doing that. Okay. Makes sense. Inconvenient, but makes sense. It would be nice to be able to just plan the whole structure out right at the start and then build it. But it makes sense that you would have a problem being able to anchor it to something that doesn't exist yet. So I kind of get both sides of that one. I'm interested to see this elemental path in action that we'll be getting when we anchor. But one problem at a time. We've got some basic infrastructure to get settled first. Grab my spear before I go interact with this thing. In case it's gonna need a fight. Oh, it just has arrows and... Oh, it's got a free shield in it. Sweet. So, oh, the shield would only be for if I'm using a club, I guess. Because the spear is two-handed. Eh, that's fine. Okay, it doesn't look like we can climb particularly. And I can't shenanigan it by rolling up the wall. Because, you know, of course my first instinct is, how can I break this? Why wouldn't it be? We all know how I operate. There's a lot of games of this type where you can just roll uphill when you shouldn't be able to. Because it's technically treated as a jump, and there's a lot of weird involved in that I don't fully understand to be able to explain it. It's something to do with how the ground is designed. Yelling at me about wrong tool, but I think it might be because I'm technically hitting the tree. Or sure that's a special rock, because it does look slightly different. I think I have enough stone for my spirit anchor. Let's go ahead and get that done so we can find out about the elemental path and get the first step done and everything. There we go. Okay, now I have to empower it, which I have everything I need for that because it gives you the ancient fragment and a rescued guide spirit and the raw mana. So I guess to some degree this might also be kind of like Enshrouded, where you have a bunch of empowerment goals similar to enhancing the bonfire, or for Enshrouded. Get corruption cleansing and... Ah, okay, you actually need this place to put the guide spirits, which makes sense. They need somewhere safe to be. Attunement and abilities. Path of Fire, Path of Earth, Path of Water, and Path of Wind. So, Path of Earth. Stand unmoving as the mountains as an echo of Earth. Draw strength from the land, shielding allies and shattering foes with unyielding power. Path of Fire. Blaze with unbridled fury as an echo of flame. Harness your life force to command fire itself, consuming all in your path with devastating power. Path of Water. Flow with the primordial seas as an echo of the tides. Command healing waters to restore allies and wield the ocean's relentless might against your foes. Path of Wind. Soar with the boundless skies as an echo of the winds. Swift and elusive. Strike with precision and traverse the lands with unmatched freedom and agility. Looks like we might be able to do 2, based on what this looks like. If this didn't say harness your life force, I would have picked fire by default. But if it's gonna drain my health to use the Path of Fire, I'm not as interested. If we do end up being able to take a secondary, I might take that as my secondary, but I think I'm gonna take the Path of Wind for this supposed mobility. Oh, and you can just change your element. Okay. We can take a look at all of this, but let me get rid of our guest over here first so he doesn't wander in too far. These are the things you had to fight for the tutorial. As you can see, they do hit pretty hard. Oh, it does take a fair bit of time to eat. Noted. This one is stronger than the one I fought for the tutorial, though. There we go. Ironic that having a weapon actually somewhat made that harder, too. Okay, it kept my wind attunement. So right now our basic ability is wind attunement. Hitting an enemy 3 times in quick succession or hitting in at a weak point with a bow marks the enemy. Your damage bonus to marked targets is increased. Alright. You also pick up stat upgrades. You have a chance to get additional resources from hand-gathered nodes. Increase movement speed on land. I do like that. Looks like there's not a ton of individual options, but it does go down a decent distance. And we've also got a spirit companion, the Skylacer. Skylacers are agile spirits of the wind. They play a vital role in the elemental ecosystem, guiding the flow of wind, tempering violent drafts, and soothing unstable skies. When the weather turns violent, Skylacers rise above it to guide the winds back into harmony. They favor echoes who walk the path of wind with agility and clarity. Tuning to an elemental path binds you to its power. Deepen this connection by gaining attunement experience from combat, crafting, gathering, exploration, and using attuning items. So we get primordial motes and primordial essence as well. So now wind attunement is active. Oh, abilities look like there's something separate then. Perhaps it's these? I don't know. Let's take a look at the other paths since we can. Get a Cindertail for being on the path of fire. Cindertails are mischievous spirits of the flame. They dart between coals and embers, embodying the flame's liveliness and unpredictability. Cindertails are vital in keeping the destructive nature of fire in check, venting pressure and redirecting untamed flame. Echoes on the path of fire attract their spirited warmth, gaining courage from their presence. So fire attunement gives you a chance to ignite enemies. I'm not going to look at the whole upgrade trees of all of these. I'm just going to take a look at the basic things and what their companions are. Earth Attunement gives you 1 stack of guard when hitting enemies with weapons and blocking enemy attacks, which grants extra defense per stack based on potency. Taking damage while not blocking will remove all stacks. That's unfortunate. The Terratois is their spirit companion. Terratoises are sturdy earthen spirits wandering through forests and mountains. They churn and enrich the soil with every step. When they rest, they settle like living stones, grounding and stabilizing the land around them. In times of upheaval, Terratoises surface to reinforce fragile terrain. Echoes aligned with Earth earn their steady, protective support. And last but not least, the Path of Water, which gives you the Tide Ray. Tide Rays are graceful water spirits vital to the seas of Nera. Gliding through reefs and drifting along steady currents, they carry the restorative nature of the water. Whenever they as tides settle and unrest fades, when imbalance churns, the ocean tide rays slip into the deep to steady the swells. Echoes attuned to water often draw their gentle, restorative presence. And water attunement, you build up stacks of ripple by attacking and performing perfect dodges. Each attack grants 1 stack, and each perfect dodge grants 2 stacks. Ripple causes Cascade at maximum stacks. Cascade regenerates mana over time while active, and regained is increased by potency. Yeah, we'll stick with the Path of Wind for now. And see where I end up going from there. I'm assuming that, like, green effect I had when I dodged that one time probably was it showing me having perfect dodged. If I were to hazard a guess. Let's find something else to beat up right quick to get that quest done. I do appreciate how they actually change how they're holding the spear when they're running as well. Instead of holding it in 2 hands the entire time. Since that is a little bit more of a natural grip when you're running, so you're not just running into your own pole. Are these just stones, or are these something else? These are just stone. Okay. They were a bit darker and a little wetter, so I wasn't sure if they were, like, specific types of stone or anything. I wonder if these crabs count as enemies. They sure do. That's convenient. Introduction to Corruption. Craft the Corruption Cleansing Tonic at a campfire. Craft a Corruption Resistance Tonic at a campfire. So I guess Corruption might just be like an ambient effect I'm gonna have to deal with. This really might be similar to Enshrouded then. It's as much shellfish as we can get, because that does seem like it's useful food. You'll notice we get the extra line around our circle for our stamina from having the extra stamina, so pretty much par for the course as far as the stamina system goes. Makes it easy for everybody to understand at a glance, so I'm fine with that. Finish our floor. Can I move things? No, it looks like when something's built, they're stuck there. Move. Oh, there we go. Move. That up. Because it would be annoying having to rebuild everything, so I appreciate that they actually let you move objects around in the world like this. More survival games need to have this layer of convenience. I know in some games it might ruin people's immersion or what have you to be able to just lift things up like this, but sometimes convenience trumps immersion in my mind. Like, convenience should come first. It's still red. Why? Must build in a socket. Okay. Do I need to build the frames then? Probably need to build frames, don't I? Which is gonna make things weird. Let's see if that's the case. Or do I need to finish the frame too? Oh, Oh, the wood frame is expensive as well. Ugh. Why did they even let me build the floor just kind of free-floating like this if they're gonna limit me about the wall? I don't know. I'm not sure how to feel about this build system yet. That might be the one downside for this so far. Is they tell you to build the bedroll, but they don't explain the house building, which seems like it needs more explanation than most things in this game so far. Or because it's a little weird. Maybe that's just me, but we'll find out. Because if I'm right about it needing this, then this is gonna be a whole pain in the ass. Yep, that is exactly how that works. That's kind of obnoxious, because now my floor sizing is gonna be annoying. But I guess we'll just have an outdoor patio on our house, and I'll just live with it. And I know I need a roof, but one problem at a time. Let's get the walls up before we worry about putting a roof on it. I just need a bit more wood.
Hello there.
Hey, Callista, how's it going? Just out here learning the ways of this world. And being slightly befuddled by the building system. There we go. Now we just need to put a roof on it. I do also need to move this storage because now it's going to be in the worst position. This bench is also not a great spot, so we'll move it to be like here. The repair thing can stay outside, that's fine. This way I can just kind of tag it on the way by. Can't need. There we go. That works perfectly. We'll put the campfire outside because that makes more sense than having it inside where it'll burn the house down. Don't worry about the fact that my repair thing is sticking through the wall so that I can repair indoors or outdoors. That one is a function over form choice instead of a visual choice. And it may make some people's brains sad, and while I apologize, I also am not going to change my mind. Make some extra storage bins while I'm thinking about it to save myself the headache in the future. As frequently I end up not making enough storage bins. So these have 8 slots, so that's not that impressive either. Store raw food in this one. Since they are, like I said, fairly limited in their size. I do appreciate them having a store like items button just readily available. And if we didn't have encumbrance and a limited amount of items in my inventory, I wouldn't worry about storage like at all. I would just cart it all around for the sake of simplicity. Something else I want to learn. Let's just put all of the raw resources we use a lot in here. I need to know if I can craft from storage. No, I cannot. Unless the storage has to be closer, which we can move the workbench over there and see if that proves true. Because maybe it just has a really short radius. Nope. You have to have it in your inventory. That's a mark against it a little bit. Not a big mark, but just like a, that could be nicer. Okay, so I need Deepling Bones for the Corruption Resistance Tonic. And Deepling Bones for the Cleansing Tonic as well. And the Gut Broth also needs Deepling Bones. I do appreciate that as a concept, though, being able to get rid of your current food effects so you can reset them to get different ones depending on what you need. More games that have food effects could learn from that. We'll get that roof in a moment before anybody's like, there's no roof on the house. Definitely want boat building. A bow would be nice because we have arrows to use. This is for fixing boats, so that makes sense. I'm assuming there's probably gonna be a comfort system, but we'll worry about that later. So I won't even unlock that quite yet. Because I don't know how long I'm gonna be playing for. It'll be a decent amount of time. At least that's the intention. Yeah, that checks. Okay, yeah, it doesn't consume resources to repair. Is just because it was repairing it by me just touching it didn't mean it wasn't consuming resources, so I wanted to test before I picked any of my other stuff back up how that worked. We'll throw spare gear in this bin, so the shield goes in there because we're not using it. This does, however, mean that I'm probably going to be carrying a lot of extraneous nonsense on me because I don't want to have to constantly be pulling things out of storage to be able to function. As usual, we're going to have to go clean up some stuff. Yes, I know I could eat something, game. It's fine. There doesn't seem to be a hunger system per se, so you won't starve. It's just the food system is there to buff you, not hurt you. And I appreciate that. I'm usually much more for that as an angle, where it is there just to be an improvement to your experience instead of something you constantly need to meter manage. Oh, there's just raw mana in the water. Okay. As you can see, there's your oxygen meter. I don't know what this will do, but I'm gonna grab it. Oh, it's just straight up a water strand. I don't know what that does, but you know what? I have it now. It's in my pocket. Just stole some magic out of the water, I think. I'm sure that won't have consequences. Actions like that are totally not how we ended up in the situation we are, or anything, probably. We're doing a great job of helping nature and the spirits and everything by deforesting the local area and destroying all of the loose stones. I'm helping. That should be enough resources to get the roof done and get other things going. I don't know why it tells you when night starts. I guess if you're like in a cave, you might not know, but otherwise, how would you not know it's nighttime? You know? Seems a little silly. I do appreciate one thing about these frames, and that is that these roofs and such expand to fit the frame for you, so you don't have to like sit there and assemble it piece by piece. Blessing and curse there, of course, because if you do assemble it piece by piece, you can kind of vary it up and make it look more unique. But by it being expandable like that, it's more convenient. So it's a trade-off of which one do you want. Bow right quick. Make some arrows. More games really need to do this whole making them in batches thing. Like, I know some games do, some games don't. More of them need to They just let you make like 5 at a time for arrows, so you don't sit there and craft 50 arrows one at a time. That's everything that I have any use to craft at the moment. Doesn't look like there's like an arrow slot or anything to worry about. If you right-click them, you pick them up at one at a time. Okay, that's good for dropping like X amount of something for somebody. I appreciate that, actually. Ah, middle mouse lets you pick your ammo. Okay, because we do technically have 2 different ammo available to us. We have the regular stone arrows, and then we had that handful of sharp stone, which is way better. I'm assuming it's kind of like flint. Or maybe obsidian. Is there a way to, like, put weapons away without swapping to empty hands? Does not look like it at a glance. Which means I want to keep my bow put away as often as possible. Because I don't want to end up wasting arrows. That's the big concern in a situation like that, is you just end up sending some arrows to heaven. Okay, and it does just overwrite the ones that are about to go away as far as food goes. Probably, it'll probably only overwrite that in a situation where one's almost depleted, though. Whenever you get, like, the "you can eat again" message. That's a much larger and nicer health bar we have now, though. 2.5 times the health bar with just those 2 food effects, so food's definitely gonna be a big deal. Let's go ahead and use the anchor to find a spirit so we can get that quest stage done. And then we need to reach empowerment 2. Okay, the spirit in question is over there. Somewhere. Not quite there. It's that way? Yeah. It threw me off for a second that it didn't update the arrow when my camera turned. It updates based on your character's body it's facing. Somewhere in that direction. Probably, like, up in those rocks over there. Yeah, because if you look when I zoom in, it's up on top, or it's in a cave underneath there. Like maybe that is an entrance or something. Let's go have a look. Let's go learn. We got lots of stamina to run for a while here. Oh no, there's an opening in there. Spirit nearby is in danger. Okay, where is said spirit that is nearby? Weird, everything has bags inside them. It is remarkably convenient, though, when their innards just pop out of them in a bag. These mushrooms make real nice skewers, so I'll go ahead and grab them. I guess just didn't drop anything. We lost the spirit. It is nearby prompt, so yeah, I went too far. So he's not actually in the interior here then, I guess. Now I did see something glowing right around the corner from here as we approach, so he might just be over here. I think they do glow. I already forgot from the one from the tutorial, if I'm honest, because I've been focused elsewhere. Yeah, he's just right here. When you find one of these, you'll have to face off against a bunch of enemies in order to save them.
Hello there.
Hey Zeri, how's it going? That's the wrong way to roll. Okay, looks like when they're stunned, we also do extra damage, so that's good to know. Nice, nice. Now we've been able to save the spirit so we can send him home. Understandable. Ooh, ability guide spirit. We gained lightning shot. Fires a long-range bolt of lightning that deals damage to the first target it strikes and marks them. Increases, of course, with potency. Ah, so that is how those ability slots work. We can slot in the ones we get from specific ability spirits. Okay. Makes sense to me. We'll go ahead and run on back home and equip that, because that should be useful to us. And just as a reminder to everybody, these are games I received free from the service Lurkit. I think I didn't mention that at the beginning. Understandable, and I appreciate that. So far so good there, Zero. How are you doing? We haven't died yet, so, you know, I count that as a victory. Zero over here with a 5-stream streak. Look at that go. Yeah, we can actually claim our bed now. So now I can respawn there. Nice, nice. And cook the shellfish, cook up the mushrooms we just picked up. And then we'll actually go over here and do what I said I was gonna do. We can't empower yet because we need more ancient fragments and we need another spirit. Not to mention a bunch of fruit and such, but we can pick up our new lightning bolt. Play around with that. Lightning bolt. Okay. And it just seems to be cooldown based. So that's convenient. Food's done cooking, so we'll just scoop all that up. Some more twine while I'm thinking about it, because otherwise I'm going to forget. That would have ended up being a nuisance at some point. It wants me to build a boat hole. I'm assuming the boat hole, yeah, is in here. So we can make a scouter hole, and that's all we got at the moment, so. I do like that you're actually, like, building the boat. It's not just, hey, make a boat out of nothingness and suddenly you have boat. Let's go ahead and build it here in this nice little inlet bit. It'll be kind of a pain getting it back out of here is the only downside. Let's make sure, actually, before I do that, that this isn't shallow enough that it'll sink me trying to get out of here. No, that looks fine. We'll just build the boat right here and then just sail right on out. There is an attach to boat button, so I'm assuming I can attach other things to the boat. There we go, it's got a sail. I'm assuming the makeshift covering is to combine with the mariner's mat because it probably needs a roof just like a bed does. And you probably can then respawn on your boat. Whereas these outriggers are probably for helping keep it stable in waves. Let's go ahead and get some outriggers on here. That's probably a good idea. Might also be just for expanding the boat as well. Might make it a little more unwieldy sailing it, but that should be fine. There we go. Oh, I didn't even realize one of the quest parts was going to be to put a sail on the boat. I half expected them to intend for you to, like, paddle around to begin with and then teach you about sails later or something. there's a sunken ruin apparently they want us to go to, so let's be about that then, shall we? It looks like this is our current top speed. I cannot speed up the boat any more than that. Yeah, with the way it's wobbling, even with these outriggers, I'm very happy I put those on there. Because this tiny little thing would probably be swaying very hard. Question is, where would some sunken ruins be? That seems like a likely candidate. Well, that's some good turning. I expected that to fight me a bit more, but it turns real snappy. A very unboat of it to turn so snappy. Considering turns like a boat is a phrase for a reason, after all. I'm sure we have nothing to worry about the giant purple dome over there. That's probably fine. We'll see if this glowing beacon here is indicative of where the ruin is. If it isn't, it might still be something interesting. And before I go somewhere I'm not supposed to yet and I get immediately bodied. That's part of the fun. Doesn't seem like wind direction matters in this game, or at least it's not giving me any indicator that I'm losing speed or that I'm, like, going against the wind or anything. Okay, it's not actually a dome necessarily as far as the purple thing goes. It seems like it's coming from whatever that spiky thing is there. Oh yeah. First try, found the sunken ruins. Reach the ruins center. Alright. So... Whoa! Did not expect to just go launching up out of the water like that. Wait. This... Oh boy. Sir, that is rude. Oh, there's mines, it looks like. I think I hit a mine immediately. Back in the boat for a second. A heal. I don't know how I didn't hit the mine with the boat. That's a better question. Hey! He's eating my boat. Hey. You would think that wouldn't work. You would think that would either not work at all, or I would blast myself doing that. Okay, the mines are also capable of being destroyed with the lightning bolt. Good to know. Some air. Hop back down. Lightning bolt. There we go, level 5. Spirit amenities. Oh, it attracts spirits. Okay. That seems like it could be useful. Bulwark bed. Jagged bone club. Actual bed for us. We need another spirit for the looking pool. Makeshift building expanded is also something I'm not going to worry about right now. Let's actually dive down a little bit here. Okay, they weren't kidding about this being a sunken ruin. The whole place is underwater. Loot that. We'll look more at that when I'm not underwater. Okay, so there is places to get air under here. That was kind of my big concern. Like, am I going to be able to breathe down here? Okay, so it's just like the entrance, I guess, is submerged, and then you can find sections of it that aren't underwater. Okay. The voice of the ancients fills your mind. We forged our constructs not as warriors, but as teachers. They were entrusted with more than the glyphs of the elder spirits. We gave them purpose, to wait through the ages, to train those who would walk in their footsteps. Through combat, wit, and will, they would help forge echoes into protectors greater than themselves. They do not destroy, they do not waver, they watch and they wait. Should you prove yourself, the glyph it offers is not a prize torn from defeat, but a gift passed down from one keeper to another. Take their burden, carry it forward, not as victor, but as heir. I'm guessing we'll gain like a new mechanic or a new ability or something from here. Ooh, there's also a patch kit in the storage here for if your boat invariably got chewed to pieces by the fish outside, probably. Ours admittedly kind of did. Not mean to put that down. Ah, there we go. Right mouse button makes the torch exist. A little bit weird. I expected it to automatically appear. Torch, no torch. Torch, no torch. Torch, no torch. I can't seem to get him to do the hand up but no torch thing again. No. That was quick. Defeat the construct. Guess he's the man in charge around here, huh? Go ahead and eat a bit more. This way we're in good shape for this. Start trial. Defeat the construct to prove your worth. I'm assuming I gotta wait for him to stand up before I can attack him. He's a tough boy. Okay, that's a big shot. And it does home, and it hits really hard. I might lose this first go here, because it looked like it wasn't going to start tracking, but it turned as soon as it was about to hit the ground. They do time out after a little bit, but it's a dangerous combination he's got going on here. And it's looking like I'm not going to get too much chance to bandage too often here. Just trying to get a read on the situation before I do too much else right now. Quit spamming all these shots, you bastard. And he is level 6. And, well, I'm not. I see that yellow meter now. I think that's a stagger bar. Which is almost full. There we go. Now is where we get our work done. And yeah, the bow ain't the one for this. I was figuring it would be because I was expecting him to be a big stompy stone man. Not loaded with magic artillery. I think going after something like this with just a piece of wood with a stone on the end of it wouldn't be that effective. There we go, stunned and done. Attunement increased to level 2. Retrieve 3 Elder Spirit glyphs. Ah. Offers you a shard of the Elder Spirit. Ah, so that's how you get the shards, is you gotta defeat the constructs then. So there's gonna be a few more of these I need to go find. He's just chill now. He's done his job, so now we just hang out. And I also get a construct's gift. Forged by the ancients, a source of power granted upon completing a construct's trial, used to build the mana forge and other magical objects. Neat. Not gonna lie, got a little worried there. Didn't think I was gonna be able to get through that the first time around. But we made it work. And there's a prize up here, too. Gotta do a little bit of creative maneuvering to get to it. Looks like they expect you to go a little higher up. There you go. Ancient fragment get. There might be a whole thing up here. Aha! Hey boys, how you doing? Hanging out? So they're just hanging out and just having a good time up here. Watching the show whenever somebody comes up here to fight the construct. Doesn't look like there's anything else up here. Hiya! I've had better ideas, but I've had worse ideas. I actually jumped off on the right side where the boat was, too. Rid of that mine that's near my boat. Otherwise, you know, slight complications when we go to sail away. Interesting how this guy can eat while swimming. Rid of that one, too, because I might back into it. Volatile glands. So I guess these are organic mines, since they've got glands? How many bones did I get? One. I blasted a lot of the fish, so that makes sense. Let's go fight some of them. Get some more bones, because we need those for the other quest bits. Oh, they might all still be over here, actually, because there's a bunch of bags. Unless he just dropped 3 bags. Deepling morsel and 2 bones. This magic is a little bit powerful. A little early on, gotta say. Can I stab you? You can just spearfish in this game. Nice. Beats having fish just arbitrarily swimming around, but you can't touch them unless you use the specific fishing thing. I think I've got enough bones to do the basics of what I wanted to do. Glad this boat has a reverse. Very convenient when boats have a reverse function. Let's head back right quick to gather our thoughts. No, it looks like I was using my mana, it wasn't using enough of it at once. Be super noticeable, perhaps. And even though our boat got bit a bit, it wasn't too bad. There's a hostile fish right there, though, we can quickly bop. And yeah, there we go. Not enough mana. That's okay. Bit of spear fishing now that I understand a little bit more. I get the feeling I'm gonna want a lot of those bones. This also might be a specific resource sitting in the sand here, so we'll snag that quickly while we're here, too. Oh, it was a treasure chest. Stone shot. Fired from a cannon? So we get cannons. Nifty. Oh. That's upsetting. Patch kits don't stack, huh? Well. We need a spot for the stone shot and a spot for the jagged bone club. The bone club can kind of just take up the spear slot because it's way better than the spear. You can just chuck that in there. And I guess I don't really need to take the stone shot with me. Oh. Got the next weapon I was going to make for free, so that saves me some time. Ah, and we're about to get the mana forge. I just need to get another level. So I think I went there a little ahead of when the game necessarily intended me to. Both because of the fact that Golem was higher than my level, and the thing I got is for the level after the one I'm at. What can I say? I'm a little ahead of the curve. The only downside to putting the spear away is we lose the ability to fight underwater. But I can also just fist fight things underwater, I guess. Slash just use our lightning. I'm going the wrong way to get into the inlet. And while we could circle around our island, let's actually, you know, go home. Because we have a full inventory right now. Probably not gonna play for super long, though. Wait. Oh, those were enemies. Okay. I saw things glowing. I'm like, ooh. Speaking of, there's things glowing in the water here. Take a peek at that before we go too far. It has glowy things? Glowstone. We have a little bit of glowstone already, so I can stack that. So I'm sure that'll be useful for something. Yeah, to the point I was gonna make, probably only gonna play this for another, like, hour or so. I didn't figure playing a game like this for only an hour would give a good enough showing. But we do have 2 other games I wanted to get to today. So I figure 2 hours for this, an hour for each of the other ones, and we'll be solid. The other ones might get extra time depending on how they go, we'll see. We're almost back to base. I could park, like, over here instead of going all the way back into the inlet, but I'd rather be in here. My boat will be safer in here. I don't think random fish are gonna come up and bite it while I'm not in it, just in case. And parked. In hindsight, I probably should have built my house closer to the water. But, you know. You would think I would have thought about needing to do immediate water travel based on, you know, how small our island we're on is. What do I know? Power of the Spirit soothes you. Ah, we get our mana regen when we're here. We don't get mana regen normally out in the field. That makes sense. Did raise our attunement. We can either get stamina, damage, and carry weight, or critical hit chance, stamina, and attack speed. I'm gonna take this because it is carry weight. Oh, I can just switch though. It's like, so that's convenient. A solid amount of carry weight though. At 425. It doesn't store that much. Fish bits away. I don't feel any need to cook them at the moment because we still have a decent bit of our other food left. Need the Deepling Bones. I don't need both the patch kits. I really don't need either of them, honestly. Crafting combustible items. I'm very interested in that, but we'll put that away for the second as we don't need. Doesn't seem to be a sort button on this inventory. Oh, there we go. It's up there. It's not like a key press button. It's a on-screen button, which is fine. We have Jagged Bone Club that we could make, but we don't need to because we already have one. This is always the downside to a recipe system behind a knowledge tree, is it can slow down things a fair bit. Oh, the Bullwog is your trash can, essentially. He'll eat things you want to get rid of. Actually, then again, even unwanted you'd rather discard. He cleans up items, I guess. Really sure entirely there. I guess let's get some spirit amenities built. I'm gonna assume they work on their own and are like minion type deals, probably. Okay, I just need the Luma fruit and some stone to finish sorting that out. The early resource requirements aren't too bad, it seems, so far. Convenient when a rock just spawns in when I'm trying to harvest stone. Pretty sure I have the Luma fruit that I need to make the thing. I just don't have it on me. There we go. 2 out of 3. Is 3 how many I need, or do I need more? 3 is exactly what I need. Perfect. And next is build the Mana Forge, which I can't do yet because I need a level first. Guess the spirits will just kind of show up on their own. The bow just is not that great right now. Unfortunately. Though admittedly, we did go up a melee tier pretty much immediately, so there's that to consider. Because we replaced our little spear that had similar damage to our bow. Yeah, because it's +3 from the bow itself and then 5 from the arrow, so it's 8 damage on the bow, and the spear was like 12-ish. Whereas this is 21 to 24, so this is gonna just be better across the board right now. So there is a double full draw damage bonus, so kinda works itself out-ish, but you have to make sure to full draw, which takes time. So you're at a bit of a speed disadvantage. You just have the advantage of range. Which range is good, don't get me wrong. Range is useful. We have an actual, like, door to fill this doorway in with. Okay, we can make a better bed, too. And a manta ray plushie for reasons. Doesn't seem like we fill the doorway in with a door. At least not at the moment. reason to make the bulwark right now. Oh yeah, make the anti-nasty stuff. Oh, it's 3 each, not 2. Oh no, it's 2 for the cleansing and 1 for the resistance. So no, we're good. I actually have exactly how much I need. Good thing I killed that extra fish. Okay, looks like that doesn't continue a chain at the moment. We've completed a lot of quests really quickly, honestly. In order to get a level we're gonna need quickly, I think I'm actually better off just harvesting resources, honestly. The trees and such give decent experience at the current level. Not the most exciting way of doing it. But admittedly, the time I'm going to spend sailing around looking for something to fight may very well cost me more than I gain. And this also means I don't have to be burning food as much. Because I don't even really need to boost my stamina to be able to harvest. Just at top efficiency. As far as I can tell so far. That is a thing in some survival games where you actually want to eat in order to have more stamina so you can harvest longer and faster. This doesn't seem to be one that cares about that, or at least not at the level of food we can make. Maybe there's one that increases harvest speed or something later. Or like harvest yield up or something. That's always a possibility too. But right now, the only thing holding us back is just our tool durability. Basically, we'll break trees till we break the axe. Not completely break the axe, but like close enough. So like another tree or so from now. Maybe not even a full tree. Oh, nope, broke it. And it does delete the item when it breaks, so good to know. Don't let your weapons and tools break. Repair them before they get there. Your pockets feel heavy. Okay, we're already getting encumbered, it seems, so let's stop there then. Go drop off stuff. Because we are definitely slowed a little bit. Not like majorly so. And yeah, that axe is gone, so we'll just make a new one. Was take all, not store all, you silly man. Wait. Apparently, I did get an axe back? So I guess it took it off my bar and put it in my pocket when it broke. Huh. I don't entirely know how to feel about that. Let's go ahead and store that so we get the carrying capacity back. Like, it's good that the item's not gone, but I feel like it would have been better if it stayed on the bar with, like, an empty meter. Just so you're aware that the item is still there. I don't know. I can kind of go either way with that one. And as much as it makes sense, it's kind of unfortunate that you don't get experience from picking up the plant fiber and such. Because it means that if you're, say, splitting the resource gathering work between 3 people, whoever has the easier job of gathering the plant fiber does not gain experience. So they're getting kind of the short end of the stick. That when you pick up wood and coconuts, you do get experience. So it's a little weird. I understand it's so that you don't just spam and click your way to the levels, but it does have some unfortunate positions where people will get the short end of the stick leveling wise. So it'll probably end up being a case of you're going to want to rotate people's tasks. Yeah, we're definitely occasionally hitting the tree or something. I was hoping to avoid having to spend long periods of time harvesting just to keep this moving along, but necessary evil and all that. Just to make sure you see as much of the game as possible quickly. There we go, level 6. So now we can work on the mana forge, get a basic skimmer. Crystals, sharpstone spirit focus, make our own glowstone hand torch, and a warming stone. Keep from getting cold. Okay, what does the mana forge need? Things we already have. Amenity score +1. I hover over that. I don't know if I need this to be near the anchor or not, so I'm gonna just go ahead and put it over here. You only have one ancient fragment, though. I don't think I have another one. Okay. No, I only have one at all. So I'm gonna need to go get another one before I can finish that. Weigh all the things that have any real weight to them, then. There we go. Suddenly we have all the carrying capacity again. Prepare my stuff. I go and eat the... No, you can't just right-click eat things, huh? They have to be on the bar. Well, we'll finish off what we have up there already, then. Then go ahead and eat that. Trying to clear up inventory spaces because I have a lot of random food scattered in my inventory. But this way we already have our health increased in case we have any problems while we're out traveling. I should bring a spear with me though, even though I got rid of my other one. So that if we have to defend the boat, we can more easily do so. That for a second. There we go. Just in case. Together, yeah. It does stack high enough. Because we don't really need the spear for anything other than underwater protection. Of course, you know, our lightning blast will probably do most things I need to do for water combat anyway. But we do only have so much mana. Better to hedge bets, you know? Boat around and off we go. Maybe don't whip it around that hard. So there were sunken ruins there. Swing out to the right somewhere and see if we find anything interesting that way. We haven't been over there yet. It's either that or I go hit up that other landmass over there. That seems like they're our two best shots at finding anything interesting. There's a water strand, but I'm not too concerned about that. Oh, you can just keep sailing, it looks like, even though you're not controlling it. Just get rid of our guest. I could stop to fight him and get some mana. Which, that's gonna be confusing, is having a mana bar, but also a solid mana item. I'm sure that's not gonna lead to any confusion at any point. Sir, if you would kindly not. My own sail is in my way. He's screwing off. Fine. No wonder, I'm about to hit land. Okay, you know what? We'll deal with these two. Oh, they're level 5s. Owie. Owie again. Get stunned, idiot. Oh, you have a ranged attack now, huh? You know what? That's lovely for you. Get stunned. Thankfully, their stagger resistance doesn't seem to have really gone up. They just have more damage and arguably more health. There's a chest on the island. Some, like, pot chests. Sure, I can make that jump, admittedly. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, though. Hiya! Ow, my legs. I think I might need to build a platform to get to that. Which, thankfully, you can just kind of build floor out of the ether, so I just need to grab a bit of wood and we'll be good to go on that idea. Attunement level 3, nice. Can't spend our level till we go back to the thing, but good to get that. Also, it is nice that you actually harvest every tree that you hit, so you don't actually have to, like, hit one tree at a time to not lose resources or anything. Some games have definitely been known to have a problem in that regard. Why can't I place that here? I was able to place it some spots. I guess it's because I'm trying to build it on top of a rock. Or am I just not allowed to build on this little island here? Let's build in a socket. Oh, now you're complaining about that. You let me do it before. I guess I wasn't supposed to do it before. Well, you know what? Just means that this is going to take slightly more wood to accomplish, and you know, that's life sometimes. We'll do, I guess, is we'll put it on... Nah. Just put it right... Oh god, I can make it taller. No, don't make it taller. It doesn't need to be taller. This is gonna be a bit on the goofy side. But you know what? One of those things where it's only goofy if it doesn't work. I should actually have built that higher. That right there will work. Again, on the note of it being a little goofy. And technically, I don't need to build the floors. I could actually jump on the frame. In fact, can I... Out of build mode. Hip. Come on, hip. Nope. Perhaps from here. I'm distracting myself with shenanigans again, and you know what? This is fine. Okay, don't know why I didn't jump there at all. Am I really not gonna be able to make it up there again? Have I just lost my ability to get up there now? Come on, me. You've done better jobs than this before. Hup. Come on. Yep. There we go. You gotta hit that, like, specific corner. Yep. There we go. Da-da-da! And we got sharpstone arrows, twine, and stone shot. One could say that that wasn't worth it, and that one would be correct. The good news is we can just remove these things and get the resources back. Ta-da! So we just summon structures out of the ether and do what we need to do. Let's see what's on this island over here. This island over here looks interesting, with the big spiky rocks on top of it. So that looks like some kind of structure over there on the left of it too, so we should be able to get what we're looking for here, if I were to hazard a guess. So it's probably going to be dangerous. Also seems like a fair guess. And I did purposely back the boat up a little bit, for those that are wondering. Protect the boat. Hey. No. Speaking of protecting the boat. Now, are these spiky rocks sharpstone, perhaps? Do they not exist? They just don't seem to exist. Okay. Ow, sir. If you could not do that, that'd be great. Here, have some back. Missed it. Okay, his don't home in at least. Okay, doesn't have a ton of health either. Makes sense, he's range-based. Good thing I brought the bow with me, because he would be a little awkward to get at. Like, you'd have to run all the way around here and jump up to get at him. And if he's shooting at you the whole time, that could be inconvenient, to say the least. Ah, this is sharpstone right here. So we'll be able to get a bunch of this before we even can make anything out of it. Look at me being ahead of the curve, as usual. I should have known that the purple stones were going to be the sharp stones, because we saw some sharp stone and it was purple. But there's a bunch more of it here, too. I'm a little sad that the higher tier resources don't give you more experience for harvesting them. But I guess maybe sharpstone's also not that much more interesting tier-wise? I don't know. I don't know how all this lays out yet, so... It's heavy. Very heavy. I didn't really expect it to be that heavy, if I'm honest. Like, I saw the warning that I was getting burdened, but I didn't anticipate it being 8 weight each for just sharp rocks. We'll leave some of those behind, then, so we can function a bit better. Anything up here? This really seems like a place where there would be something. As a reward for climbing up. Yep, there's a chest up there. What's in the box? More sharpstone arrows. Some glowstone arrows, which deal increased damage at night, so that's cool. Bone nails and a bandage. I do not like the fact that my tooltips aren't always working. Like, I don't know if that's a me thing, a game thing, or a streaming thing. Like, it could be caused by any number of things. Chief among them admittedly being early access game. But that, I think, might be my major complaint so far. Which is a minor complaint. On the grand scheme of things. So if that's the biggest problem, other than the building system being slightly weird, I'd say this game's doing pretty well. So we might see more of this in the future. It's a turtle. The turtle statue. I'm assuming this is meant to do something. It just might not do anything without the prompting. Perhaps. Right now, doesn't help. This does, though. More stone shot, some bones, and some odds and ends. I do like that there's just those little pot chests scattered around. I really thought I was gonna get an ancient fragment in here somewhere, though. This really seems like the place where there'd be one. But apparently not every ruin's gonna have one, which, you know, that makes sense. But I don't have to be happy about it because I didn't get the thing I wanted. Doesn't seem like there's anything up there. Admittedly, going slightly just on vibes there, so I might be wrong. Pockets feel heavy again. Let's just get rid of some of the wood. Again, I appreciate the ease of being able to just pick up items one at a time. Not enough games let you just do that. If that's real over there, that might be a good place to get some ancient fragments. Oh, the boat has storage, thank God. Keep the wood on me. Put this in storage, because that's like 90% of the weight I'm carrying. That solves the problem. Thank you for having boat storage, game. Thank you. Something. Let's go ahead and eat one of those. And we're gonna be out here in the water, but go ahead and eat the shellfish anyway, just to save inventory spaces. I was going to eat one of the seaweed in case I need to do a lot of swimming. Oh, the little green bird that's following me around. That's specific to being attuned to the path of wind. He just kind of hangs out. You can get a turtle for being earth, some kind of little lizard dude for fire, and a flying manta ray for water. Yeah, I figured you'd be all about the turtle. Oh, you can get the store page right here. Is there gonna be anything in here, I wonder? Don't think so, but I may as well check. Fish. Oh, that's level 10 fish. Thankfully, their AI doesn't seem to be that smart. Then again, stronger or not, he's still just a fish. Morsel, Paradiepling bones. Oh, I can swing while I'm on the surface, so I just need to bait things that I'm fighting to the surface of the water then. Okay. And then I can still use my better weapons. So I don't have to exclusively use my magic against stronger targets. Ooh, an actual chest. Mana crystal, hand torch, glowstone arrows. Nothing too impressive. Assuming the mana stone is worthwhile. There we go. That's what we needed. Ancient fragment. I was very wrong, and I'm glad I checked. Oh, there's another ancient fragment. And a water strand nearby. And snag that too while we're here. Still don't know what those are for, but I'm sure they'll be used for something important at some point. This way we'll be able to get the Mana Forge built before we end for this game. Yeah, I'll pop the game page up again in a little bit. Just because I always pop it up at the end. There might be something there. Turn around, silly little boat, turn around. We sailed past this, I think, on our way here. But I think we were at a different angle. Oh, no, it might... No, I think it's just weird lighting reflecting off the rocks. It looked really cool. Just, it's not actually a thing, it's just wet rocks. Oh, well. On we go. This way we can get our fancy forge built. See what that gives us. We might need another level before we can even really make too much use of it. But it looks like the main thing from it is increasing the Sanctuary's power anyway. I am kind of curious about the purple curtain up there. So we may rush over there after we get the forge built, so we get to see that. See what the deal with that is. So I'm betting it would send me there probably when we get to that point. You know what? We've been ahead of the curve on everything else. What's one more thing, right? I'm very good at sticking my nose where it doesn't belong. Wait, I think there's a mark there we didn't get. Spot that till we came in from this angle. Cassian's Mark Volume 1, First Light. Well, this is something. I have no idea where I am or how I got here. I just woke up in a stone chamber beneath that tower. I can't remember anything before that. Not my childhood, not where I came from, nothing. Well, I do know my name. Cassian. Good name, strong syllables. This place is beautiful. Great sunsets. The flooded islands and colossal stone corpses give it a kind of apocalyptic charm. Everything is worn down like it's been here for centuries, but some of it feels deliberately designed. Maybe those stone figures were the builders? I've already started gathering food. There are plants I've never seen, but somehow I know which are safe to eat. How? Note to self. Ponder this later. But here's the really strange part. I'm not panicking. Shouldn't total amnesia in a ruined world trigger a meltdown? Instead, I feel curious and hungry. Very hungry. Time to eat. So, alone, amnesia, surrounded by ancient ruins. Could be worse. At least they gave me a loincloth. Cassian. Yeah, that's a reasonably good outlook to have on that. Oh, our tattoos glow when we interact with those things. Neat. You choose where your tattoos are, by the way. I put one on my forehead, and because I thought that would be interesting. You only have a couple preset options. You don't, like, choose manually where to put them. There we go. Increasing Sanctuary Power request complete, but I need Sanctuary Power 2 to use the Mana Forge. Okay. So I need to actually finish this, which needs 2 more Ancient Fragments, some Luma Fruit, and 1 more Guide Spirit. Okay. We can also get our next attunement bonus, which I'm gonna grab Wind's Favor for more speed. Extra resources from hand-gathered nodes would be great, except that's only like plant fiber and things like that for the most part right now. Look at him just hanging out. Just having his lunch. I did the wrong button again. I keep thinking that the button on the storage is going to be the one that puts all the things into the storage. We don't have anything that's the same in there anyway. There we go. I honestly should make more storage, just for inventory slot reasons, if nothing else. Also, apparently storing like objects does not apply to the hotbar, which is a little weird. I should cook more food, though. Give me that, give me that, give me that. Swap these into their moment. Those. That. 50 health. Bad, not bad, not bad at all. I might be able to show the turtle off because you could swap attunements. Need to finish cooking first. Technically, it would cook while I was away from it, but I would definitely forget to come back for it. I read all the info for all of them, but I didn't actually look at what they looked like in the world. He just kind of swims around in the air. The little guy. I wasn't sure if he was going to walk around and follow me or not. And the water one. Little manta ray floating around. And of course, Path of Fire. These are just kind of hanging out. They all level separately, so that's worth keeping in mind as well. I forgot to grab the stones out of the box. Oh wow, we are a lot faster now. That is very nice. I'm very glad I went for wind. Speed. This way we can get the sharp stones stored for when we can actually use it. Which is probably not gonna happen today. But I can definitely see myself playing more of this here and there. Probably you see about getting people to play it, though, more than anything. Plus the rest of this I can cart around with me, it's fine. Okay, yeah, that's already stacked to 100. We can grab more wood out in the field if I need more wood. Cooked everything I can cook? Yeah. We'll keep the morsel on me because I'm more than likely gonna end up killing more fish anyway. Where you go? I do kind of wish our boat was faster. But that's nothing new for me. I always wish every method of travel in a game is faster for the most part. Pretty sure this is the hand we got the stuff out of, so we don't really need to go there. Why am I still drifting left? I think I still had the rudder turned a little bit. I'm so used to just immediately turning it back without thinking about it that I did not even check. But, you know, mild impact, it's fine. Over here might be interesting. We skipped past this to get to the ruins before. There's a thing very clearly at the top of the rocks there. think there's like a mark or something right there. No, I think it's a strand. Either way, we may as well grab it while we're here. Boy, fishy. You aren't gonna like what happens if you start this fight, but that's right. Another water strand. This one's just not underwater. It's just raw mana. Okay, so raw mana does exist in places other than in the water. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be something different because it wasn't underwater. The jumping is a little weird in this at times. Like, you oddly bounce off of things, though that's another thing that's kind of common to this genre, I would say. Stuff. If I was playing with other people, since those storages are renameable, I'd probably start just labeling them all as having been cleaned out if I end up leaving stuff behind in them. What's this? Immune. Immune with the bird. Oh, I gained attunement this way. Okay. So I guess you visit these each time and you find one, you can get a bunch of extra attunement. Neat. Oh boy, I missed. At least I hit the water. That could have been bad. Oh, that could have been really bad. Oh, that was upsetting on many levels. Over on this side of the island. Anything? Now, it looks like all roads lead to Rome, and Rome is a bird. Which I can only say, you know what? Fair enough. But as I promised, we'll go see what the purple thing is since we are almost at the 2-hour mark. Even though I can get very easily distracted in this type of game, I'm gonna try to keep myself to that. It's a little weird that when you reverse, your direction is still the same as if you went forward. X, thank you for the raid. What were you up to today? It's just now for us to be going to go see whatever this weird purple thing here is. Welcome in, everybody. We are doing some games I received through the service Lurkit, so for everybody new in here, bear that in mind when you hear me talking about any of these. Ah, excellent. Slay the Princess is very good, so hopefully you had a good time with that. And a little bit of regicide never hurt anybody other than, you know, one being regicided, but royalty can get over it. Yeah, it's a very good game. Yeah, you know, that also tracks with playing Slay the Princess. Because I have not seen everything, but I've seen parts where there are definitely some spicy options. Oh, this triggered a quest. Approach the Abyssal Spire. You have no corruption resistance. Turn back. Huh. What you're saying is bad things will happen if I sail closer here. What if I told you, game, that I was going to ignore what you tell me so I find out what happens? This is almost certainly going to kill me. Oh, the spire is a thing to fight. Okay. Lightning bolt. Ah, it didn't really seem to care about that too much. There's mines over there, it looks like. Oh, Oh, dive underwater to destroy the spire's egg sacs. Okay. I'm assuming that's the glowing green things that are down there. That's a good thing I have room to eat, because we're about to eat some seaweed to have more oxygen then. Ah, that is the target. Okay. Understood. Stab the thingies. The spear's not that good, and these things are popping pretty quick, so I don't think this thing's that strong. So... that seems concerning. I should surface before I run out of air. Oh, no wonder we're under the thing itself. I might have waited a little too long to surface. Ow. Okay, you just take drowning damage. That's fine. Hi. I'm breaking your eggs. What are you gonna do about it, huh? Aha, game reference. Also, we are in trouble because these fish are very strong. This is suddenly a concern. Also, we're about to hit full corruption, so, let's see what happens when we get corrupted. Oh, mine is 50% health recovery, and I start taking damage. Okay. That was infinitely less exciting than I'd hoped it would be. I was kind of banking on it actually killing me. Also, looks like it doesn't go away. So the only way I'd be able to get rid of it is if I went home and used the stuff I left behind at base. I knew I was gonna forget to pick up my corruption resistance and corruption cleansing stuff that was there. Oh, we have a bunch of bandages, so we might be able to finish the job anyway, now that I've ditched the fish. Oh, break that one. Okay. Yeah, because you can break them pretty fast. We are most likely going to die here, though. Because here come the big scary fish again. Which I do not have the power to fight in any real way. And man alive, does my oxygen drain fast. So we're gonna end up taking a little bit of damage again there, potentially. Nope, made it. You fool, I can fight you on the surface with my club. No, my pants. The shark ate my pants. There we go. I was able to defeat the evil of the fish. But it seems like it spawns 4 of them, which makes sense. I'm also out of healing now, so yep, the deep claims you. Wait for allies, or... yeah, I could have respawned at my ship if I had put a mariner's mat there. And you also take some durability damage that way, it looks like, because my shirt also broke. But we are about at 2 hours, so you now also know how dying works. And if you want to be able to find out what happens when you break one of those, you'll just have to click that link there and pick up the game for yourself. is that seems like a good stopping point for this game out of the set of games we're going to be doing today. It's either that or I run back and then it'll take an awkward amount of time because we only have like 2 minutes till the 2-hour mark. So that seems like as good a split as any. But I do think this will be worth picking up. I did enjoy all of this. It's a little bit phrasing choice here. It seems like a fairly standard survival crafting game at the moment. There are potential things that make it seem like it'll have a lot more going on. It just may take more time to get to that. Because the attunement system and the abilities seem like they'll add an interesting extra layer, but you've got to actually get to that. Thank you for clipping that, Zeri. Performance-wise, it ran perfectly fine. I had to adjust it initially because it was eating a lot of CPU when it first booted. But that's not that big a deal. It never impacted gameplay. I just saw it because I have a bunch of monitoring software up, so you probably wouldn't even have noticed it without it. So there's all of that. And now that the ad is about to start, now we'll actually worry about getting to swapping over properly. There's your wish listing and everything, and feedback, etc. So we'll hop out of that and hop to the next one we'll be covering. For those wondering, we are covering 3 games today. So if any of them are not to your taste, you may want to just stick along or come back in a little bit, and what comes up next might be more to your taste. But as I've been mentioning relatively incessantly, these were all codes given to me for free through Lurkit, so bear that in mind when you take anything from any impression I'm giving here.